parents were like, man, I know that if I talk about Jews right here, they're going to kick me out of synagogue. And at that point in the Jewish culture, that was it. You couldn't do business amongst the Jews anymore. Your status was gone, the whole thing. We see that very clearly in here. How about you? Verse 23, therefore his parents said, he's of age asking. 24, so they again called the man who was blind. This guy has to continue to repeat his story. And they said to him, give God the glory. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered and said, whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. And I want you to underline and star this in your Bible. Whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I know, that though I was blind, now I see. I love that. He's like, all right, because they're trying to get, and this happens today. People try to get into this long debate with you, right? They're saying, well, what about evolution? What's going on here, man? What about this? What about that? And they're wanting to get into this long debate with you. Which, you know what? There's a time and place for this game. Jim, what's up, man? I gotta take this out. What's that? Handheld? You got that? Let's try this. This may be kind of tough here. All right, here we go. Where were we? 25. One thing I know, that though I was blind, now I see. I believe that there's certainly, as a Christian, we need to know why we believe what we believe. Absolutely. So hear me now right away. I'm not saying that there's not a time and a place for a discussion like that, as we know why. But a lot of times people want to talk to you about all those other things, and you haven't had the season of understanding that yet. You know what you do? One thing I know. I was this, and now I'm this. It's clear. One thing, you can debate all the facts and all the history and all that kind of stuff. One thing you can't debate is a changed life. You can't look at me and go, man, you were this and now you're that. That's proof right there. And that's exactly what he's saying. Because all these guys are wanting to trip him up and all these hoops. He said, hey, man. Verse 26, they said to him again, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered them, I told you already, and you didn't listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you also want to become his disciples? I love that. This guy's cynical, humorous. Then they reviled him and said, you are his disciple, but we are Moses' disciple. We know that God spoke to Moses. As for this guy, we don't know where he's from. The man answered and said to them, what? Here he goes again. Well, this is a marvelous thing. You don't even know where he's from, yet he's opened my eyes. Now we know that God does not hear sinners. But if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him. Since the world began, it has been unheard of that anyone opened the eyes of one who was born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. Now this guy's getting his preach on, man, right to these. He's right up in the Jewish leadership right here. Verse 34, they answered and said to him, you're completely born in sins, and are you teaching us? And they cast him out. In other words, they excommunicated the guy. They kicked him out of the temple. You can't be around any. You're done. You're out of the whole Jewish culture because he's standing up for Christ. Verse 35, Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said to him, I love this, do you believe in the Son of God? He answered and said, who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him? Jesus said to him, you have both seen him, and it is he who is talking with you. Then he said, Lord, I believe, and he worshipped him. And Jesus said, for judgment I have come into this world, that those who do not see may see, and that those who see may be made blind. Then some of the Pharisees who were with him heard these words, and they said, are we blind also? Jesus said to them, if you were blind, you would have no sin. Now check this out here. But now you say, we see, therefore your sin remains. You see, there's religious people today that say, I got it figured out. They've never humbled themselves before God. And as a result, they're blind. In 35, Jesus says clearly to him, do you believe in the Son of God? Who is he? It's he who's talking with you. Matthew 15:14 says, they're blind leaders of the blind. If the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a ditch. Before you and I came to Christ, it's exactly what we were doing. We were walking around blind, spiritually blind. Thinking that we had life figured out. Thinking that we got it all under control. Until we